I'm happy to report there was an upsurge this past April of almost an additional 1 million VR users, partly because of the launch of Half Life Alyx in VR, according to Valve's data. It's the single largest leap ever in the monthly connected headsets on Steam. This is actually a record. It's nearly 3 times the prior record that was held back in December 2019 to January 2020. Now, the biggest winner that came up on top as far as individual headsets in April due to Half-Life was the Oculus Quest. It's a standalone headset, but if you are using the right cable and then connected to a VR-ready PC, you can play Half-Life that way. But some have used an application called Virtual Desktop, which lets you remote into your computer desktop through the use of VR headsets instead of using a cable. But some have reported there are some performance issues with this method. It's highly dependent on the connection between your PC and Quest, and of course your router. But the biggest question is, will those new users stay and be active users in VR after they complete Half-Life Alyx? So hopefully this sudden surge can help encourage other developers to make experiences just as good as Half-Life Alyx, or maybe something even better. So guess what, guys, I'm gonna break out my old HTC Vive first generation headset to take a closer look at Half-Life Alyx. I'll quickly show you some of the highlights of at least the first chapter of the game through a HTC Vive when I first played it, in case you're interested or you want a quick feel of the game. And I can tell you right now, I can see why people are drawn to this game. The level of detail is actually quite impressive. Alright, enough talking, let's just get this thing started. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's actually a nice feature. They're providing us with the options of how we can move around the game. Teleportation, which is the most comfortable, or continuous. Let's go with continuous. Let's start a new game. So we start off on an amazing cityscape on a balcony. Right off the bat, I think it's really impressive visually, and I love the many interactive details in this one scene. You can spend a good 30 minutes interacting here and looking at different things. It really urges the player to explore or play around with the surrounding environment. For example, you can play with the radio, pick up the can, and various other things. And maybe even scare a cat. Moving on, there are scenes like this small greenhouse that again encourages interactivity. This is a scene where she speaks to her father.
Alex, how's it looking up there?
It's good, Dad. Metrocop movement is normal. Same for the Combine patrols. How's it going in the stockyard?
One Combine mini reactor from a shipment of 4,000. They're never gonna miss it.
You then come to this dark, shady stairway where you think something can happen, but nothing really happens until you step outside, where this thing catches you totally off guard. As you can see, this big giant robotic foot crashing down right in front of you, accompanied with this huge intimidating sound. Then moving on to this observation deck, you see this creature known as a snark, or aka a squeak grenade. It's inside of a container where you can actually feed this thing. I think the animation and the look on the creature is really amazing, and how the green light just illuminates around the container and the environment. I'm really impressed with that. Next, you jump into this shady looking elevator where you get transported into this dirty, grimy looking laundry room where we talk to one of the other characters. Again, the details are really impressive here.
Alex, are we good?
Yep, they got the reactor. Easy peasy. I'm headed back to the safe house right now to meet Dad. Go. We'll be in touch.
Stay safe.
Moving on, we have this tense, stressful moment with one of the soldiers, and we see her father being captured in the background.
Whoa, wait, I just live here. Wait, don't shoot.
You didn't steal anything.
You didn't care. What did you see?
No one! I didn't see anyone!
Dad! Hey, wait, no.
She gets captured and gets thrown into the van where her partner's drone breaks her out.
You have been in an accident. Take the headset.
Alex, you there? You've got to get moving.
Russell?
But sadly, the droid, well, you'll see.
Alex, everything cut out for a second. I lost the headset video feed. Can you see my drone? Is it okay?
Then we get this amazing gravity glove that aids us in grabbing objects from far distances rather than walking towards the object. In order for this to work, you have to aim at the item with your gloves, and you pull this item with a flick of a wrist, and the item goes towards your hand.
Just like that. Perfect, we're done. Oh, wait. I almost forgot.
Alex, up here! You're gonna need a gun! Don't worry, it's unloaded. It's unloaded now!
This is actually really fun and engaging to play with, as if you have some sort of a superpower. Then you can also collect weapons throughout the entire game, like pistols or shotguns.
Oh, you took care of that lock then. Good, great. Did have the key for it, but should have given you that. That's on.
So overall, I think Half-Life is actually one of the most detailed VR games I ever seen and played with, also with great sound designs throughout the game. Personally, I have not yet finished the game, but so far the story is super engaging, and I highly recommend that you give this a game a look. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time guys, talk to y'all later.